Hi everybody, Dan Ullman, Matt Bernier, the DRF.com Formulator Race of the Day for Saturday, June the 17th, race number 9 at Santa Anita. We're going 1 1/16 for 3-year-old fillies. Let's take a look at the field for the Grade 2 Summertime Oaks. We are pre-scratches and program changes as we film this, but you can still head on over to the Race of the Day event page on DRF.com and download free Formulator past performances and handicap along with us as we take this field in post-position order. One of the longer shots in this race, Matt's the number 1 Go See Cal. It took her 11 tries to break her maiden. She did so on the turf. I think she has the potential to be a talented turf performer down the road, but dirt's a big question mark.
Dirt's a big question, and whether or not she actually belongs with these fillies, I don't know that she's quite this good at this stage in the game. I don't fault the connections for taking a shot here, but I don't like her chances.
Trainer Jerry Hollendorfer has 2 horses entered in this year's Summertime Oaks, and they're both utilizing the same equipment change. The 2 Spooky Woods and the 3 It 'Tis Well will both add blinkers for Saturday's race. Spooky Woods' 3rd last time out in an optional claimer was flattered somewhat when that talented Calbred S.Y. Sky came back to win the Malaire with an 82 buyer.
You know, the thing for me with Spooky Woods, I'm kind of sick of her. I don't know how good she actually is, and I think you need to hope, if you like her in this spot, I think you need to really hope that the blinkers wake her up, because thus far, she's only won outright on the lead. It was on a wet track, and whenever she's faced better horses, she just doesn't pass the test.
You gotta send her, right, with the blinkers
I think so.
on, even though there might be a couple of other speeds in this race, and we'll get to Selcourt in a little bit, but you're right. Her win, and she looked pretty good doing it, albeit on a wet track, was in gate-to-wire fashion. Maybe she's the kind that gets very brave when allowed to control the pace. It 'Tis Well's probably going to be the more fancied of the Hollendorfer duo at the windows, and understandably so. She's a greatest stakes winner who took on Paradise Woods and Abel Tasman in the Santa Anita Oaks, and is getting needed class relief.
Yeah, of the 2, I prefer her. I think she has a big chance in here. You could make the argument that she's the horse to beat in here, even with the equipment change. You get Smith, you have Hollendorfer, obviously. Her running the Honeybee 2 back, there was nothing wrong with that whatsoever. You see Benner Island in there. We know she's come back to be a graded stakes winner, albeit going shorter. I think in many ways, It 'Tis Well's the horse to beat.
Now, even if Spooky Woods is aggressively ridden out of the gate, she's going to have to deal with the 4 She's a Chatty Cat and the 5 Selcourt in terms of a pace presence. She's a Chatty Cat, 2nd last time out in her first race against winners, but that horse that beat her is pretty good.
Yeah, Shalon's okay. Came out next out with a win and 94 buyer speed figure. I have to be honest, I don't love the stretch out in distance. I'm not a fan of the trap shots going 2 turns. I think she's nothing more than a pace presence that can muddy the thing early.
That's a good point. She can certainly factor in the finish of this race. I agree with you. From a pedigree standpoint, I'm very dubious as to whether she'll get the 2, but she plays a part in this race because of her good speed. Let's see what the Timeform U.S. Pace Projector has to say about the Summertime Oaks. And as you see by the red bar, we are expecting a fast pace that will be set by another stretch-out sprinter, Selcourt. Now, Selcourt has been bet hard like a star in all 3 starts. I was very disappointed in her last race, the Angel's Flight.
Boy, she was all out, and she just kind of finished evenly. I didn't think she'd put up much of a fight, and I know she was only beaten by less than 2 lengths, but I don't like the idea of projecting her stretching out with other pace signed on in here against arguably better company. She's not for me.
The winner of the Angel's Flight is in here, and that's the number 6 Fabian going out for the great Bob Baffert. Here's a formulator fact for Baffert. Over the past 5 years, with 3-year-old last out winning dirt routers, for a little bit of a layoff, stretching out 46% to $2.26 return on investment. I thought Fabian gave a solid professional performance in the Angel's Flight. It didn't blow me away, but they've always thought highly of this $720,000 purchase.
I think there's talent here. I have written in my formulator notes 2 back when she broke her maiden, concern about the stretch out. Now, they come back in that Angel Flight, and she gets the job done at 7/8 of a mile. I don't know how far she's going to want to go. I think with some other speed in here, keep in mind, it's not like she's slow, and it's not like she's one that's going to sit 3 or 4 lengths off of it. She's going to be right there as well. I just don't know that I want her at a short number going long.
The argument can be made, though, that she's the most naturally talented horse in the race. The only time she lost, she was running against Paradise Woods, who, of course, won the Santa Anita Oaks by open lengths and is one of the best 3-year-old fillies in the country. The number 7 is Majestic Quality, and Keith DeZormo has treated her like a good horse from the start, running her as a maiden in graded stakes races and rewarded when she was 2nd in the Rachel Alexandra. They finally put her where she belonged last time out in the the maiden special, and Majestic Quality exploded.
You know what, and that's the thing that was so interesting for me. I've never been a big fan of this horse, but I have to be honest, she was never a loser at any point in that race, and I always like to see if it takes a long, long time, combination of class relief, and then finally maybe the light bulb going on. She blew the doors off that field. So far, that field has come back quite dreadful. Let's just call a spade a spade. But the way she finished and powered through the wire, distance, you know distance is not going to be a problem for her.
And doesn't she get the right pace set up in this race?
Yeah.
Because we know she's a mid-pack or a late runner, and she's going to get a lot of foot up front, and this horse we know will get the distance.
I think she's going to, I don't know how far off the pace she's going to be, but there is going to be an honest pace signed on. That won't be the excuse. The excuse is whether or not she's good enough. I wonder, just based on the way that she finished, I wonder if she is good enough.
Despite winning the Grade 1 Chandelier last year over this course and distance, I have to admit I was really never a big fan of Noted and Quoted, but she kind of won me over with her seasonal, well, her second start of 2017 in the Angels Flight Stakes, because while Fabian was outside and able to sweep to the front turning into the stretch, Noted and Quoted was bottled up in behind horses, didn't get clear until about the final furlong, and then she ran on. I think it was a nice stepping stone for this race.
I thought the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies was just a really poor performance. When you look at the trip that she got on the front end, and she just spit it badly. The Sunland Park Oaks, I have no idea what happened. She was eased and walked off. The Angel Flight, I have written in, I can say this with some confidence. I think if she doesn't get stopped, she wins the race. That to me is also something going forward. I know that she's already proven going 2 turns. I don't know that we're going to get that from Fabian. You know, if It Is Well is the one that I think is the horse to beat, sort of 1A, in my opinion, is Noted and Quoted.
Even though she did win the Chandelier last year, you know, we have to admit it was a fairly soft group, and she was able to walk on the lead over a track that was kind to speed. Do you think it's possible that, considering this pedigree, she actually will be more of a 7-furlong horse?
Yeah, I think down the road, I think this is just a scenario where maybe all the stars align. Keep in mind, no Paradise Woods, no Unique Bella, no Abel Tasman. I think this is just one of those situations where everything works for her here. Ultimately, I agree. You turn her back to 7/8, but she can certainly win here.
Another horse getting some class relief is one that you've always liked a little bit, and that's the number 9 Mopetism, stakes winner at Sunland Park, 3 starts back, then caught Paradise Woods when she freaked, then caught a wet track in Abel Tasman.
Yeah, I don't want to hold the Kentucky Oaks against her. The Santa Anita Oaks, don't want to hold that against her either, but I have to be honest, even in that Santa Anita Oaks, she was just kind of grindy, and I guess that's her. I wasn't blown away with that stakes race at Sunland. I thought she had to work much harder than I wanted her to. I still think she is talented. I think there's an opportunity for her. I don't know that this is the spot.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Grade 2 Summertime Oaks. Matt, you like the 7 Majestic Quality. Again, DeZormo's treated her like a good horse all along. She'll get the right setup, and she got a fig last time.
Man, the way that she finished, if you haven't seen the race, go into Formulator, watch the replay. When she finally gets out into the clear, down the lane, she extends and she finishes like a good thing. It also doesn't hurt. She has the highest last out buyer in the field with a 91.
I'm going to go with the 8 Noted and Quoted. I thought she had trouble last time out. I think you could make the argument that she was best in the Angels Flight, and I think she's going to be taken just off the pace under Martin Garcia and sort of sit in the second flight and maybe try to follow her stablemate Fabian, and maybe both of these Baffert horses will be able to complete the exacta. Matt's going again 7, 8, 3, 9. I'm going 8, 6, and I'll use the 2 Hollendorfer horses underneath. If you're playing the Santa Anita Saturday card from home, 2 graded stakes races on this card, DRF Bets invites new subscribers to be VIPs for a week. Head on over to drfbets.com/VIP, sign up to DRF Bets, start off with a $300 bonus, and get lots of other handicapping related goodies. Approximate post time for the Formulator race of the day, the Grade 2 Summertime Oaks, is 5 o'clock Pacific. Best of luck.